Wake up. Wake up, attendees. Please welcome Ian Rogoff.
Well, welcome back to San Diego for MTB 2000. You're out of the matrix. We've got 5 days of the most intense technical training we've ever done. Not only is this the largest MTB we've ever done, this is the largest internal Microsoft technical training ever put on, ever. 5,800 people, 50-plus countries. We have almost 12 miles of coax cable just in this building. We can power almost 200 houses just with lighting. And we have 2,000 computers shipped in for ComNet, for hands-on labs, and for post-MTB training. The largest number of PCs we've ever brought in, and according to the fire marshal, we bring in another one and he shuts us down. So I just want to give thanks immediately to the events group for helping us put on such an unbelievable event. All right, so we have 3 primary communities. We have about 700 people from PSS. Would you please stand up and show yourselves? We have almost 1,500 technology specialists and system engineers. Would you please identify yourselves? And we have almost 3,000 Microsoft consultants. Would you please identify yourselves? All right, with everything you've asked for, without these sponsors, we couldn't have made this event happen. So right off the bat, I'd like to thank Compaq, Unisys, Veritas, and Avanade for the overall event. Compaq, Commvault, NetIQ, Open Software Associates, PowerQuest, the MTB Events Group, the Global Partner Group, and the Windows Product Group for the party. And let me tell you, that's going to be one hell of a party. I hope every one of you attends. So we got a lot of feedback from you around MTB. Remember we did an MTB last September, and then we did one the previous January. And our scores actually went up. The previous January we had an event, we got about 6.6 on a scale of 9, and then by September we were up to about 6.9, and we want to beat 6.9 this year based on your eval. So we got a lot of feedback, and on a scale of 9, beating 6.9 is pretty damn hard. But we want to beat that. So we went out and we got some feedback from you guys. And the first thing you said was more executives. We'll take you through what the schedule looks like. You said more technical content. We'll show you that. And then we had some tough ones we needed to deal with. You said you wanted more food. Yeah, we'll get more food. You said no Hotel Del Coronado. All right, but now no one's got an excuse for being late. And you said more alcohol and more parties. All right, our executive speakers today, Steve, Charles, Laurie, and Doug. Tomorrow, Paul, Yuval, and Brian. Saturday and Sunday are the hardcore technical sessions. We go literally from first thing in the morning almost to midnight with sessions and chalk talks. And then Monday, we have Bill, Bob McDowell, Jeff Rakes, and Orlando. We did try our very best to get Bill here for this event, and we sent a letter to the Olympics and we asked them if they would move the event. We just asked them if they could just shift it a couple days, and they declined. But we have Bill on video. So you asked for more technical content, and one of the best things we did in the last year and a half is put together the technical communities, because they have allowed us to dramatically increase the amount of technical content at MTB. Countdown webcasts, and were those useful? We had tremendous attendance on the Countdown webcast. Is that something we should repeat? Thank you. You could see the numbers there, a number of unique sessions and deliveries and hands-on labs and community summits. Just a dramatic increase in both the quantity of courses and the number of times that they're delivered. I'd like to thank a lot of people in the audience that gave us help in designing the summit. You see the names there coming from the field, coming from the product groups, and coming out of the communities. Every single session, we try to make sure that every single session that had presentation content in it was reviewed by people in the communities. So folks, the message is this. We have tried to do everything we can to review the sessions. Please get involved in the communities if you want to play a part in reviewing the sessions that come out. I'd very much like to give a hand to all the people that are on the slide for helping us review sessions. Technical depth. It's important that you realize this. Feedback we got was, please cut down on the number of 100 sessions. Well, we did. No 100 sessions. And please take a look at what 200 means, 300 means, and 400 means, because we've tried to be fairly rigid in making sure that we set that expectation and then we hit that bar. And then we've got 38 chalk talks and 6 Ask the Expert sessions where you get to make some interactive conversations happen with these folks. Win 2000 competition. This was such a success last year, we decided to repeat it. And these are all the teams that we've got. David Thompson from the Windows 2000 team will be hosting this event. We'll film it. We're going to have it on video for you by Monday. So please make sure you attend and cheer on your team. This was a very exciting event we had last year. We're not going to mention who won because there was some controversy there. But for us, this is a huge exciting event. So please attend and please cheer it on with all the adrenaline. It makes the event that much more exciting. So improving the MTB. Let's just take a look quickly at the agenda. Regional receptions tonight. Tomorrow night are the MTB dinners and award sessions, the MTB party, and the drawing for the motorbike. Saturday night, the Windows 2000 Challenge, chalk talks in the gaming zone. All the PCs sitting in the hands-on lab get turned into the gaming zone. There will be drinks. Please enjoy the gaming zone and please attend the Windows 2000 Challenge. Sunday night, more chalk talks and Ask the Experts. And then Monday is the closing general session. There are no general sessions on Saturday and Sunday. So with that, I'd like to once again welcome you to MTB and take this opportunity to please introduce Charles Stevens, Vice President of the Enterprise and Partner Group.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the best MTB ever. I'm sure it'll be that. I'm just going to take a very few minutes to talk about how I think we're going to win in the enterprise, how I know we're going to win in the enterprise, and what it's going to take from all of you to play that role to make us successful in the enterprise. In my view, we've been in the enterprise business about 10 years. You could say we've been selling to the enterprise since 1984, 1985. But really, we've been in the enterprise business 10 years. And why do I say 10 years? It was exactly 10 years ago when Bob McDowell joined us and started MCS. So this is the 10th anniversary of MCS. So I want to congratulate everybody in MCS. So by my definition, being in the enterprise business means you have to be in the enterprise services business. That's why I started our business in 1990. Very soon after 1990, we shipped the first 2 key enterprise products, Windows NT and Exchange. And that's how we built the real enterprise business. Windows NT and Exchange. Very soon after that, we had our Premier services, which is critical for the enterprise. And those 3 things enable us to say we're in the enterprise businesses. Services, products, support, and of course the incredible work that the SEs and TEs have done. So what the question is, how we're going to win in the enterprise in the next 10 years. What is it going to take from all of us to win in the enterprise against Oracle and Sun in the next 10 years? This is the way I look at it. In the next 10 years, we have to be able to deliver and drive and accelerate solutions very quickly with our partners to customers to drive their business success. Now that sounds very simple, but it's very different from what we've been doing the last 10 years. Very, very different. We haven't focused, frankly, on customers' business success. We focused on deploying technology, deploying platforms, but we have to be integral to our customers' business success. They have to think of us as they could not achieve their business goals. They could not compete without Microsoft. That's how customers need to think about us in the next 10 years, and we have to prove that. We have to have partners as part of everything. We have to deliver solutions, not just products and technology, because that is what drives business success. And the key word, probably the most important word on here, is the word accelerate. We have to be able to drive with our platform solutions and partners, solutions at a much more rapid, predictable pace to get our customers up and running and to help them succeed. Now you may say, that sounds fine, but how can we claim that to our customers? How can we achieve that and be unique, say, against Sun and Oracle? Couldn't Sun and Oracle say exactly this? Aren't they saying exactly this today? Maybe they are saying it today, but I'll give you 5 reasons why they cannot achieve this goal. They do not have the commitment that we have that's got us where we are today. The commitment to the PC platform, to the scale that brings, the economics, and the rich user experience. The knowledge worker asset is incredibly important in the enterprise. The PC asset, the scale economics that drove the price of those PCs and processors down is happening on the server, and it's like a wave. It's going to wash all those big boxes away on the server, just like it did on the PC and on the desktop platform. So that asset we've been focusing on and working on, the Exchange asset, all those messaging users, the knowledge working users, the Office users, that is a huge asset in the enterprise that Oracle does not have, Sun does not have. They do not have it, nor do they have the commitment to it. We do, and we're committed to bring those users and customers forward. Secondly is our vision about available anywhere, anytime, on any device. This is brand new for the enterprise, I think. And what I'm talking about here is mobility and wireless. And every one of you out here, I'm sure, would agree with me that we need a really great mobile story and to deliver on that to our enterprise customers. In the past, we thought of that story as about consumers and knowledge workers using pocket PCs and cell phones. But all of you know, and I know, that enterprise customers are really interested in the mobile world. They have customers they want to get running in this mobile world. They have solutions they want to deploy. Mobility has to be part of our enterprise story, has to be based on our server platform, bring in those Office users. Mobility has to be part of everything, and wireless has to be part of everything we do. And we will do this and execute this better than I think Oracle or Sun. Next reason why we're going to win. .NET. You'll hear a lot about this. I don't need to say more, but we have a roadmap for .NET today with our enterprise service, and we have a vision for the future with .NET. Sun and Oracle don't have a vision that is as broad or as aggressive or as innovative as .NET. .NET integrates the internet into everything. It's the internet of the future. We have the vision, and we're going to take customers there. That is unique. Oracle and Sun don't have that. Lastly, actually the last 2 points, we are committed to solutions. We didn't start as a solution company, but we're building solutions. Exchange is a great solution. We're building solutions ourselves, and we're committed to working with the best ISVs, the best-of-breed applications in the world, to help them optimize and run on our platform. So that commitment to partners, ISVs, solution providers, systems integrators that build solutions, we offer the best-of-breed solutions on our platform of anybody else, more than Sun, more than Oracle. And lastly, and most importantly, we're committed to services. We're building the fastest growing services organization of any major vendor, and we're committed on deep partnering so we share in the customer's success and failure. So we stand with the customer, not just through the sales cycle, but through the deployment, the management, the operations, and as they run those systems. We will take risk and share that risk with customers. We will stand with our partners together, and we have the richest, deepest set of partners of anyone in the industry. Oracle cannot say this. Sun cannot say this. Neither of them can say all these 5 things and therefore deliver on the goal that we must deliver in the next 10 years of driving these solutions to help customers succeed in business. That is the enterprise strategy, in my view, and how we present it to customers on one slide, which is hard to do, but that's how I do it. Now, what about services? We've traditionally led with products, not solutions, and we've used services to help deploy, architect the platform, build the platform in. I think that has to change. It has to change right now. We have to lead with services. We have to compete in the services business. You all do that today, but it's never been stated as part of our strategy. We want to win against IBM Global Services. We want to win against Oracle Consulting Organization. We want to go out and compete with them everywhere we can and everywhere where we think we can deliver a better solution than those competitors. It's a $1 billion IT services business. Sorry, it's a $750 billion IT services business. Today, we only have $1 billion of that. $1 billion of the 750. That's an unbelievable growth opportunity. We need growth in revenues. Our services business is growing twice as fast as our product business. We should grow 3 times as fast as our product business. We should not be afraid to lead with services, make money on services, and our partners will be pleased if we do that. We've always felt that we shouldn't compete with our partners, but our partners need us to succeed. They need us to win because that builds more business opportunity for them. So we need to compete in this business, and we need to have a business model that lets us compete and an investment strategy that lets us compete. We have to deliver the business value through services, not just through products and technologies, but solutions and services deliver business value, and we have to prove we deliver business value. Projects like REJ are incredibly important, not just telling customers how they can make money and ROI, but going back and proving to them after they deployed our platform and our solutions, they made money. That's critical, and we have to deliver these very fast with incredible agility. IT, as all of you know, is not just about saving costs and managing infrastructure anymore. IT, to large customers, is business value. It's helping run the company, achieve its business goal, find more customers, serve customers. So we have to be in there with the business decision makers and the CEOs, not just the CIOs and the IT. And IT is much more business focused than it was. And lastly, we have to deliver predictable, guaranteed long-term results. We cannot do these without services. We cannot just do this with technology and platforms. Services has to be something the company can lead with, make money on, make profit on, and go up against IBM and Oracle on. So I'm very excited about that. So how are we going to get there? We need to make many more investments in services and in the enterprise strategy. These are, I think, the key ones in the next year that we're going to make. We are changing our partner model. Our partner model, I would say, is scale up and scale across. Scale up a few very, very deep relationships. Relationships that we've never had before. Relationships with Compaq, Andersen Consulting, SAP, Unisys, KPMG, much deeper than we have today. Because without that deepness, we don't have the guarantee, we don't have the reliability. We can't deliver predictability to customers. We have to be able to count on them. Those partners have to be able to count on us. And customers have to view it as one organization delivering these business results. So we're investing very heavily, as you know, in Andersen Consulting and many of these partners. But that is not to say we're not going to invest in our own services. Those partners will not respect us, will not be willing to work with us unless we are very strong in the services area. They respect strength. They want to ally with a strong technology company with a vision and a company that has and is committed to great services because they're taking less risk that way and they can partner much better with us in the field. So Andersen and companies like that are very excited when they see the big investments we're putting in all of you and in the platform, in the technology, but particularly in you and the services. So we're going to continue to build and strengthen those 4 or 5 deep relationships. We now have a global accounts organization that works for me. We're managing the top 40, some of the largest customers around the world directly, working with people in the field, and we're taking our most demanding customers that have big issues about deploying this platform and this solution across many countries, and we're trying to design consistent policies, consistent ways of execution, consistent process to really deliver solutions to these customers. And the interesting thing about the headcount that we've invested in global accounts, 80% of it is MCS and SEs, TSPs. To really make these customers successful, we figured out very quickly, they told us, you told us, we need more SEs in downstream locations, more MCS people, bigger commitment in services. That's what it takes to make global accounts successful and a consistent delivery model across the world. So I'm very excited about that. Capturing and reusing our IP. If we're going to grow this services business and make more money, we have to be able to share the IP, to share the knowledge, share the experience, and that will help us guarantee more predictable results to customers. So all of you have a responsibility to make your customers successful, number one. But number two is to share that experience with everyone else, the success or even the failure of that, because that will make us all better, more consistent, and able to deliver faster. Fourthly, we have to train our sales organization to sell services. Most of them do not sell services today. They sell the EA. They sell the license agreement. They're going for the revenue. That's fine. But we are not committed as an enterprise company if we don't include services with every sale, with every EA, every select agreement. Every presentation we make to the customer must be about what MCS brings to the table, what pre-sales brings to the table, what support and services bring, and what our partners bring to the table. And I will not be happy until we have MCS and Premier engaged with every customer that has an EA and a select agreement. We should not be happy until that happens. Lastly, most importantly, we all have to act as a team. We have to serve the customer end to end. If we're going to focus particularly on these large global 1,000 customers and deliver these predictable results, we have to act like one organization. We have to have great pre-sales from the TSPs, incredible MCS, incredible post-support sales, operations, and management. And we have to act like one organization. We have to act like one team with our partners as well. And frankly, that's going to take a lot better tools and infrastructure than we have today. We've made improvements. I'm talking about products like Siebel and Clarify, but there's a lot more work we need to do. Just the account information is not visible. How many people in this room can really see all the information on their accounts and the account plan? How many people can see all the incidents, product support incidents that their customer has? How many people can see all the MCS plan and engagements and projects? It's very hard to find that information just for ourselves. It's impossible for the customers to find that information. We need an infrastructure and tools that integrate together that are easy to use, that have visibility of all the customer information to ourselves and our customers, and that just plain work. In other words, we need .NET services to run our business. We need to be the showcase in this room and our whole sales organization of running .NET services and giving that kind of visibility. If we have that, I know we can build great, even better teamwork than we have today, and we can represent one face to the customer end to end. That's my goal. That's the toughest goal on this slide here, and it's not going to be solved overnight, but we have a lot of good people working on it, and we're getting a lot of feedback from all of you. So, what role do you play? You're all technology professionals. You all add tremendous business value to our customers and helping them deploy solutions incredibly quickly. What have you got to do? We've got to take responsibility for the customer's success, business success, not just the successful technology deployment. If the customer is failing, we need to act like a team or is having problems, and we need to solve the problem together. It's not this organization's fault, that organization, that individual. We own the problem. We're going to fix it with our partners. We take full responsibility. We have to be willing to say we stand behind our products, our solutions, and our services, and not flinch from that. We have to build much more capacity and process to handle the very, very large-scale projects. We have to be willing to prime on the very, very, very large projects, the toughest projects in the world. And I know we're doing some of those today, but it's very hard. We don't have the processes. We don't have the links between all the organizations and the development groups yet. And many of those projects, I think we should not do. We should look at very carefully the risks and the upside, and if we don't think we can deliver the business success, we should walk away from them. But we have to have the confidence and belief. We have to say yes to the customer. We're willing to take on the biggest project. And we're willing to bring in our partners if we need them to help as well. But we're willing to take on the biggest projects, and you have to have the confidence that you will get the support from corporate, from development, from everyone else to make those successful. That's incredibly important. We have to share the know-how, the IP, I mentioned that already. We have to share it not just amongst ourselves and our customers and partners. We have to, of course, share it with the development teams so they collect the feedback and can build that into future products. And lastly, we have to do this teamwork on a much improved infrastructure and account planning system, and we have to bring partners in. We have to treat partners as part of our organization, particularly these very, very deep, large systems integrators and people like Compaq and SAP. So that's how we're going to win in the next 10 years to accelerate business success for our customers. So I want to talk now in more specific detail about what the plans and priorities are for each group. So I'd like to bring on Doug Hauger, who works for me and runs executive and technical selling. I'd also like to bring back Ian Rogoff, who runs enterprise services and partners, as you know, and Laurie Moore, who runs product support services. Thank you for giving me a break so I can get some water here. Now, what I want to address in the next few minutes is I want to ask each of them, okay, I've given the broad picture of what we're trying to get done, but specifically in the next 12 months, how are we going to work together more as a team, and what's our mission, what are the key investments we're going to make in all these key areas? So I'll start with Doug. As I said, Doug runs executive and technical selling. He's responsible for the whole technical solutions professional community out there, as well as CADM and our industry evangelist team. Doug.
Great. Thanks, Charles. The clicker.
It's all yours.
All right. Thank you. Well, Charles, as you know, the technology solutions professionals community is the name that we've given to that community of individuals out there who are the SEs and the TSs in the field. And I just have to say, you mentioned MCS earlier, 10 years, congratulations on that. But I think I'm right that we've had SEs in the field since 1988. Which is great. And now we're really formalizing the name around that, TSP. So we have TSP, we have MCS, and we have PSS. So congratulations to that community providing service to Microsoft for a long time. The mission of the TSP community is really to be that first line of engagement, to excite, to engage with the customer, and to empower the customer around our product set and around our solutions for their business, and focusing on their business and how we can help them in their business. So it's really in that first line of engagement and bringing the technical expertise necessary to really help out our customers in their business. If you look at 01, where we're going with the TSP community and the FY01 plan, the first point we're focusing on is .NET developer evangelism. The developers and our customers have always been our strong point. They're the success of this company. We really need to get out there and evangelize the .NET developer platform and make sure that they build the applications, they get the skill set now, they build the applications now that help them down the road towards .NET. One thing that's very important, if you look in your bag, you have this demo image DVD, which is all the .NET content from Forum 2000. And at MGS, Steve Ballmer asked that everybody make sure that they watch the content from Forum 2000 to learn about .NET. And this was put out by the Demos Are Us team under Executive and Technical Sales. And this is really important. You can stick this in your laptop on the way home, boot it up, and be able to watch all of the demos and the videos and the content from Forum 2000. So that's one thing that can help you get started. Yeah, thanks to John DeLen's team for putting that together. That's fantastic. Second thing is building sales and really focusing in two areas. The first one is office revenue. Office revenue is a huge, huge piece of the revenue of this company. And one thing that we've done is all the area VPs have committed to 10 to 20% of the TSP time in the field to focus on the office productivity initiative. And so we'll have people in the field dedicated to making sure that we can get office revenue up. The second point is Platform 2000 adoption. And Platform 2000, with the set of servers that we have out now, we have the strongest product line that we've ever had in the history of this company. And if you look, it's really the TSP community that engages first with the customers around that and getting them excited on that. And one way to do that is certainly to look at the demo image DVD, load this up. This has a lot of our products on it, and be able to get demos out there to the customers. The third point is Sundown. Sundown is really focusing on Sun, making sure that we beat Sun, not just looking at the upper tier of the market, but in the middle market, the 4 processor systems, getting out there, beating Sun where we're really strong. And around Sundown, we're working with the CADM team under the direction of Pete Wise at corporate, also part of executive and technical sales, and with the TSP community to get together a set of Sundown champs in the field, TSPs who are dedicated. They wake up thinking about Sun. They wake up thinking about how are we going to beat these people and make sure that we keep them out of our accounts and get into the accounts where they are. The next point, technical leadership, certainly through getting the demos out there, making sure that you understand what the products are, and then also through our partnership with the sales learning and readiness team with Ian, we're focusing on making sure that we get the technical content out and the classes and the training out to the TSP community so that they can be the technical leaders with our customers. And then the last point that we're really focusing on as part of the plan is this embracing the Envision strategy. And the Envision strategy is our strategy for a long-term momentum-building effort with the TSP community. It really focuses on exciting the community around our platform, engaging the TSPs in the communities in EKM and those types of things, and then also empowering them with a tool belt of things they can do. Things like the demos, things like EBC Live, where we have, if you go to EBC Live on the web, we have all the demos in the EBC available via terminal server, so that whether you're in TSP, whether you're in MCS, it doesn't matter. You can go there. You can show a multi-cluster system. You can show cluster failover. You can show load balancing across the website via terminal services. And these are things you can't show on your laptop. And now you can log into the web and show those to customers at their site and be able to get them excited about our platform. And then the third thing is also Demos Are Us, going up there onto the web and pulling those down. So if we look at now some of the initiatives around that plan, first one I just talked about, Envision and the long-term strategy. The second thing is the TSP EKM community. EKM is just fantastic for MCS. A lot of great stuff out there. We realize the value of that, and we've now put up a TSP community up there for the TSP folks. So get engaged in that, get focused on that. And then also be leaders of the initiative execution. As I said, it's really the TSSE folks who are out there engaging first with the customers, and they need to be able to speak and deliver to the initiatives that we have from corporate. The developer initiative through the .NET developer strategy, the line of business initiative, office productivity through the dedication to OPI, and then platform. And then finally, also focusing on competitive expertise. And the CADM team at corporate under the direction of Peter Wise is really where you can get a lot of that information as a starting point. There's a competition website, and we want to make sure that we get the community excited about delivering and beating not only Sun, but beating Oracle and beating IBM in our accounts. So that's what we're focusing on for 01.
Great, great. Thanks very much, Doug. I'm very excited that the team that Doug has built under him that's really going to focus on the TSPs. We've needed to make a much bigger investment in all of you. You're the front line in the battle against Sun and on the .NET developer opportunities. So we are investing in you with the best people we have, the best tools, the best systems, and we're going to help you succeed. So we're very, very committed to that. And now I'd like Ian to talk about MCS. What are the key priorities and initiatives for MCS in fiscal 01?
Thanks, Charles. The mission for MCS doesn't change very much, but we have some increased focus areas that we really want to draw your attention. At the end of the day, one of the things that makes MCS so powerful for the company is the fact that we're on site with the customer every day for the duration of our projects. We can have a major impact on customer loyalty and partner loyalty. That's probably the most important thing I'd like to draw to your attention, and the extent to which, as we go around the world, we hear about how MCS folks, in working with their customers, being there every single day, making sure that they're proactive in checking with customer issues and customer concerns, that we're responding to those customer needs. MCS plays a very, very unique role in that respect, and that's something we want to highlight and something we want to reflect back as we continue to invest in the communities going forward. Obviously, what's very important in MCS is the balance of the business goals and the work that we do. We need to make sure that we achieve operational excellence. We need to make sure that we help the sales organization achieve their goals. But at the same time, Microsoft Consulting Services has to generate consulting revenue, and we need to generate margin. Now, we all know it's a heck of a lot easier to do consulting services on NT4 today, but that's not what we're about. We're about making sure that the customers adopt our new technology. And so the MCS mission remains a balance. It's a balance between helping your sales groups achieve their goals for Platform 2000 and .NET, but at the same time, achieving the consulting revenue and margin goals that we have in each of our geographies. So let's look at some of those business goals. Revenue for Microsoft Consulting Services this year on plan is $816 million. That is an unbelievable number when you think about it, when we started 10 years ago in 1990. So just a tremendous hand to everybody in the audience for $860 million. And I get asked a lot, is Microsoft Consulting Services in consulting to make a profit? And the answer is, we make a profit. We have 20% responsibility margin this year. But that's not what I draw your attention to. The question shouldn't be, do we generate a profit or not? The issue is, we run consulting as a business. We have two goals. We're here to help our sales groups make sure that they achieve the penetrations and the license adoption that they need to achieve, and we're there to help them do that. But in addition to that, we run consulting as a business, and that business today is a big business, $816 million at 20% responsibility margin. So what are some of those key sales goals that we get challenged with? I encourage general managers around the world in every subsidiary to be very explicit with this consulting organization to make sure the consultants understand that there's 3 areas in which we have to help sales. The first is in key customer wins. There are customers in every single geography that we absolutely need to break into. What projects does MCS need to do in order to secure the platform in those customers? And then we need technology wins. 20,000 seats of exchange, a win like that in the United States doesn't help you in the UK, and it doesn't help you in Germany. Every geography needs to make sure that it gets its key technology wins. Those are the references that sales needs to tell the consulting organization what they need, and we need to help them deliver it. And then finally, there's large-scale deployments, because without the deployments, we're nowhere. So from a sales goal standpoint, we can categorize these things quite specifically and quite precisely. We can be very explicit between sales and consulting with what we expect on the sales side, and we can be very explicit with what we expect in terms of revenue and margin. And the sales goals are to break into specific accounts and to know what those accounts are and what kind of things we can do in those accounts to break into them. To understand what are the key technology wins we need in our geography this given year, and what are the major deployments that we need. Over and above that, we have to continue with partner development and engagement. When you consider the size of the platform that we're trying to evangelize, there's no way MCS will ever grow to handle that entire platform. Microsoft Consulting will end the year probably around 4,000 consultants. And we estimate around the world there's well in excess of 2 million people that are working in application development and integration on our platform. So if you look at the scale of the opportunity for our partners, it's huge. And one other thing that I'd like to emphasize, the more Microsoft Consulting manages our business as a business, the better off we're going to be engaging with our partners and helping them make money on our platform as well. From an EKM perspective, we're just absolutely tickled with the takeoff of EKM. This is a mechanism that we use to give feedback to the product groups. This is the mechanism that we use to capture intellectual property for service offerings and for the frameworks. This is the mechanism that we use for escalations, problem resolution, skills inventory. Folks, if you're not engaged in EKM, you're missing out on a tremendous resource to do your job. I urge you to get engaged in EKM. And finally, the services frameworks and the services offerings. This is what allows us to get predictable. It allows us to talk to sales in terms of the way in which you can sell a project. And sales can start to help us stage projects to customers so it's not necessarily just a big bang, but we can lead the customer along the project based on predictable, short-duration service offerings that we know what they look like, and we can conduct them in a repetitive fashion. So finally, what are our initiatives for 01? We've got to start doing more complex projects. Customers tell us that they would like to do more innovative things in our technology, particularly projects that push the envelope. And we want to help them. And their feedback to us is, Microsoft, I need you to take some responsibility for this project. And folks, we're here to take that responsibility. When the customers want us to do it, we need to do it. It's not MCS, it's not partners, it's MCS or partners or both. But we've got to together do more complex projects. The plan this year calls for us to do 10% of our effort in complex projects. So please make sure you attend the PMO sessions, the Project Management Office sessions, so you start to understand all the tools and techniques and processes and procedures we're releasing to help you do estimating, work breakdown structures, and the various risk assessments for the different kinds of complex projects. Huge focus on ESCs and PSCs, Enterprise Strategy Consultants and Partner Strategy Consultants. These are the lifeblood of how we win the strategy discussions. If we want to have a programming model discussion, that is not something that happens in 2 hours or 3 hours. That's a discussion that happens over many weeks and months, and we need ESCs to help us win these battles. Likewise with the security model battle. Likewise with the directory model battle. That's what we want ESCs to do. And in order to get our PSCs into our accounts, we have to represent that as an opportunity for partners to make money. And how do they get ready, both their individuals and their organizations, to do work on the Microsoft platform? And PSCs can do that. We've got to roll out the professional services module from Siebel. We've got to take advantage of service offerings. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize is MCS, PSS, and TSP collaboration. This is a huge opportunity for us to deliver more profoundly and more deeply on the customer loyalty message than we ever have before. And that's why you see all three of us on stage here, because we think the opportunity in your geographies to collaborate is simply huge. So with that, I'll turn it back to Charles.
Great. Thanks very much, Ian. And Laurie, I'd like to turn to you and ask you what are the plans, initiatives for PSS and how we're going to work with you together on that.
Before I get into that, Charles, I have to just say it's great to be here. This is my first MTB. I've been coming to MGSs for about 2 years now. I'm sorry, 10 years rather. And it's really great to see all of the technical folks. And in particular, I'd like to just welcome the PSS folks. We've got over 600 PSS people from around the world, including our TAMs, our enterprise service reps, our proactive team, our application development teams, our on-site teams, and I just want to welcome all of you and wish you a great MTB. And getting to our mission, I thought that I would kind of simplify our slide here, and rather than put a lot of words, I want to make one very, very simple point, and I think all of the PSS folks know this. Our mission in PSS, through the technical professionals we have across the world, is to deliver value to our customers. And we do that in a variety of ways. Number one, it's all about the services and the solutions and the support we provide, regardless of where our customers are along their life cycle. Through the work we do with our design teams and our proactive teams, the work we do with our application development teams and our on-site teams and our support professionals, we really have to make sure that we are delivering what our customers are looking for. And I think, you know, our results speak for themselves in PSS today. We have done a fabulous job of growing revenue around the world and really driving up satisfaction. And I want to encourage people, all of our PSS folks, to make sure that as you're doing your work with our customers, work with the TAMs, work with our sales teams to pull in the right set of partners to make sure that it's not just us doing our work with MCS, but making sure that we engage our partners. And that's going to become even more critical in the enterprise space with products like Data Center down the road. So partners will be a key part, are a key part, and will continue to be a core part of our mission. I thought that I would extract a few goals that are very, very relevant to our technical community in PSS. Number one is about delivering customer satisfaction and building loyalty with our customers. And we do that through what we do every day. We're doing the right jobs, offering the right services, delivering the right set of solutions. We will drive up customer satisfaction and build loyalty, which is absolutely job number one. Another key priority for us in fiscal year 01 is growing our premier revenue. And I don't know that our technical community thinks about this very carefully, but it's really the work that you do that drives our revenue. We have been growing revenue, you know, year after year after year in our premier organization. But this fiscal year, it's really about right-sizing services, right-sizing support in those accounts. It's not just about premier contract penetration. It's about making sure that we, as we're in these accounts, we understand what are the opportunities, what are the needs, and our engineers being there and talking to these customers every day really helps our sales organization to sell more service. So it's really about growing premier revenue. And then finally, we run a very large operation around the world with over 8,000 support professionals, which includes our broader organization, Premier and PSS. It is so critical that we focus on driving improvements in how quickly we can solve issues. Year after year, in every review that we do, we hear that number one driver to customer satisfaction is a quick resolution to a problem. And I really am pushing very, very hard this year with our CPR teams and our engineers to make sure that we don't hold on to issues and that we get very aggressive about driving closure. This means escalating, you know, quicker and faster around the world. It means not sitting there and waiting, you know, for a problem to be reproduced before you hand it off to the development team. If you can't figure out what the problem is, my gosh, we just need to send it on up. And I think that oftentimes we wait too long to try to figure out things ourselves, and we've got to get much more aggressive about driving things with the dev teams. Another key priority for us in fiscal year 01 is what I call our high-touch support strategy. which includes a number of components. But one that I'll zero in on here is what we're trying to do around the world with our on-site support strategy. We've got a fabulous group of on-site engineers that we've been building for the last few years in the U.S. and most recently in Asia and EMEA and LATAM. And we are going to grow that number dramatically. Number of on-site support visits that we do, including our on-site team and including our support professionals. So that'll be a key priority. We've got aggressive goals in this area, and I think that we're poised to succeed on those. So the goal, driving up 5% customer satisfaction around the world, growing our premier revenue by 25% around the world, and driving a 10% decrease in the average numbers of days to solution. And finally, we're going to do about 6,500 visits, on-site visits around the world, which is up dramatically from last year. Key initiatives. You've heard Ian and Doug talk about service offerings. As Charles mentioned, the three of us are up here today to really make sure that it's not just us sort of talking to each other about how we integrate, but really trying to get the message across to all of you that we have to work as one virtual team. And we've got tremendous capabilities across all of our organizations, great technical talent. Our mission from a headquarters standpoint is to make sure that we're defining a standard set of offerings, standard package services that we all understand that we need to deliver against. And there's a lot of work going on right now leading up to presentations that we'll be making to our executive team to present these standard offerings so that we all can deliver against a common set of offerings, and we harness the technical talent around the world to deliver the value that we talk about that our customers deserve. High-touch support strategy. I mentioned our on-site engineering organization. Another key priority for us is making sure that our TAMs are with our customers. And we're growing that by 35% in fiscal year 01, and I feel actually good after two and a half months out of the year. We're in good shape. We're aggressively driving that goal. Another key part of the high-touch support strategy is rapid escalation. And we need to make sure that we're escalating issues, as I mentioned earlier, much more quickly, much more aggressive about that, and push harder to get resolutions. Another key priority for us is globalizing our PSS business around the world. We have not operated as one organization for many, many years. And over the last year and a half, we've begun to define common teams around the world where we are really trying to optimize what we do to support customers. The first example, the first project that we're working on right now is globalizing our developer business. Our developer mission is critical today, as it's always been, but we don't have the breadth of expertise in every geography for technical support around the world for developer products. So we are in the process of bringing together those teams. We have very detailed project plans for those teams. And more importantly, we're going to move the developer support model to an online model. We'll still be on site and do design and handle cases, but we need to make sure that we're delivering much better content, more proactive content to help our developer community adopt our products, build applications and solutions around our products, and more importantly, support those solutions that they develop. Our global account management model, we're working on fine-tuning that from a premier perspective. And we need to get, again, much more focused on making sure that we are delivering not just value, but delivering services. And we need to fine-tune that account management model so that we are absolutely have a great menu of choices that our account managers are aware of and that they're delivering against, so that our customers view us as part of their team, and through that approach, driving up customer satisfaction and loyalty. Last 2 points I'll make are around what we want to do with our online business. I mentioned that we're trying to drive up content and build better content, more proactive content. We need to make sure that our offerings reflect that we have portals that companies can come to, whether I'm an individual premier account or whether there's a portal on a particular subject area like e-commerce. And we're working very closely with Mike Nash and his team on making sure that we've got great content initiatives so that we just bring people to our websites to get the answers they need rather than having to call or to hunt and search for what they're looking for. And then finally, it's really, really critical that we have a global learning organization. You heard Ian mention the EKMs. And as part of this collaboration effort between our three teams, we should not have, a PSS having their own sort of separate training or own technical communities. We need to integrate with the broader technical communities, and we have efforts underway to make that happen, as well as great leadership that we just brought on board to really drive our learning strategies, particularly around Whistler and the enterprise products. So with that, I'd like to turn this over to Charles.
Okay, great. Thanks very much, Larry.
You're welcome.
Well, I just want to ask a quick question of these guys before we move on. All of them talked about driving revenue, driving the product revenue, the licensing revenue, and driving the services revenue, really focusing on revenue. All of them talked about customer loyalty, helping the customers be successful, driving business value. And each of them talked about, I think, the unique role that each of our groups needs to play, the TSPs, MCS, Premier, and TAMs. But I noticed all of them also talked about collaboration, and I want to focus on this teamwork. How are we going to represent one face to the customer? How are we going to work together end to end to make sure we deliver that sort of business success? What are the things we're really going to concretely do in the next 60, 90 days to make sure all the people out here can go out with great confidence and represent the whole Microsoft team? What do you think the key priorities are there? And I'll ask Laurie, Ian, and Doug there. Laurie, do you want to?
Well, from my perspective, I think that the key piece of work that we need to get done is this work around having a common framework for service offerings for enterprise accounts. We have to be all marching towards the same goals as it relates to driving revenue and driving satisfaction. But if you don't have the roadmap and you don't have the offerings that we're all delivering against and that they're all understood, it's very hard to understand, well, where do I pull in MCS, or where do I pull in a technical professional, or what role does PSS play? So we are aggressively working towards a very hard set of deadlines, because we are presenting this to our executive committee at our BLT and TLT meetings. We're recommending what the package service offering should be, and a core part of that work will be a delivery component. How is it that we harness the different resources to deliver on different services that we might offer to our customers? And we have dates that we're marching towards right now, and by mid-year, we hope to be able to not only announce the offerings, but begin delivering on those.
So that's very important. If we're going to meet the commitment I just made to all of you that we're going to sell services with every enterprise sale, we've got to give our salespeople and our partners one term sheet, one list of service offerings that's integrated and clear, and then we can deliver across all our organizations. So what you just said is a very important goal.
And I think your point, Charles, about partners is also key. As part of this framework, we are proactively thinking through what is the role that partners play, and from that we will evolve the programs that we have in place, the MCSE programs for certification, where we may end up developing new certifications based on systems management or operations management and other areas where our partners will play a key role.
Yep. Ian, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, my message is a simple one. Give the customer a Microsoft experience. Don't give the customer a PSS or an MCS or a TSP experience. Give the customer a Microsoft experience. Do joint account planning. When you're designing a solution, involve PSS so they understand what it's going to take to support it. When you're selling, take advantage of the knowledge of the account and the competitive offerings that the TSSE community brings in. So the message I've got is a really simple one, and it's very much that takes place in the field. Step up and be proactive and think in terms of giving the customer a Microsoft experience rather than an organizational one.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Great point. And just to support what Ian said, we are, as many of you know, we're supporting this on-target account planning, or TAS as it's called, and we're integrating that into Siebel so that everybody using Siebel, including everybody in this room, will have a view and be able to contribute to the account plan. And the account plan is not an account plan unless it meets the customer's business goals, it meets our revenue goals, it meets satisfaction, and it includes products, services, and partners. That is an account plan. Everyone working on that team needs to have visibility and contribute to that, and that will support the goal that Ian has just said. Yep. Doug, how are the TSPs? They're on the front end of the sales cycle. They're the first guys in. Right. They're the first guys on the beach. How are they going to work together in this end-to-end relationship and support us and help sell our services?
Yeah, certainly in the work that Steve Shea's been doing. He's the director of the TSP community at corporate. He's he's really been out there sort of canvassing the TSP community and found that, as Ian says, the way for us to be most successful with the TSPs and with MCS and PSS is that joint account engagement, that the customer sees a solution coming from Microsoft. And for example, to work between the ESCs and the account, let them work on some of the strategy, be sort of higher level, and have the TSPs going out and engaging in different business units around our solution sets. So it's really around that joint planning. And we were talking to some of the managers yesterday, and really where we've seen success in the regions and the subs and the districts is where there is teamwork, where there's joint responsibility, where you say, we have everyone in the account. We have the TSP community, we have MCS, and we have PSS, and these are our different responsibilities, and that there's really that joint responsibility.
And the bottom line, that is our commitment to the enterprise. We'll put our best
Absolutely.
people from every group in to make them successful, and that's what it's going to take.
It's the only way for us to win.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let me just wrap this up quickly with one slide. What are the sales goals and services goals for this year? How do we set that out for the whole enterprise sales and service organization? Well, the number one thing is driving revenue. The number one equal thing is customer and partner loyalty. So that's a given. Every year, that'll be a given. Driving revenue, customer and partner loyalty. How do we do that this year? What are the goals for the sales force and the services organization? Business desktop. We've got to get all our enterprise customers, medium enterprise customers moved to Windows 2000 Pro and Office 2000. A lot of revenue upside and a lot of benefit to the customer in terms of reliability, running line of business applications, connectivity, using the internet, and so on. Huge business value, huge revenue to us, huge customer and partner satisfaction. Most critical of all is e-servers, driving the high-end server business. Not Windows NT, not Windows 2000, but Windows 2000 Advanced Center, Data Center, SQL Server 2000, the other app servers. The high-end servers we sell against Sun and Oracle, driving that with services, with sales, and with partners. It's a business that's growing about 35% a year. It's the growth business for Microsoft. We have to win in that business in the next 5 years, and services are part of that and integrated totally within that. Then we've got to get people on the road to .NET. We've got to sell these e-servers today. What we're shipping and launching today, we have to sell those as the base for .NET. We have to sell the .NET vision, but customers need to deploy these e-servers today to be able to realize the benefits of .NET in the future. And lastly, we're going head-to-head against Sun. Sun has attacked us for years. It's different now. We are on the offensive. We're attacking them where they're strong, and we have a better story, a better enterprise story than Sun and Oracle, and it's because our services and our partners and our products can beat them every time, every day, day in, day out. So I wish you a lot of luck. We're going to support you as well as we can. Let's have a fantastic fiscal 01. Thank you all very much.
Okay, as we get the stage ready for Steve, let me just take you through a couple things. Evaluations, they're very important to us. They help us monitor the event and make adjustments that we need to make. So in order to make sure that you fill out your evals, there are incentives. Please submit your evals. Please make sure you put the ID number on it, and you are in the running to win a Pocket PC or a digital camera. You see the times for the buses. Please make sure you're on time. And one thing that I forgot to mention in my opening remarks, remember that sessions this particular time are 90 minutes. They're not 60 minutes. So please make sure you're moving quickly from one session to the next. Sessions have changed from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. So with that, thank you very much and have a wonderful MTB.